So this video will just be a brief overview of our syllabus and what you can have to look forward to in terms of logistics for our class. But before we move forward into the syllabus, I want to show you a really cool feature for those of you who are visual like myself. So here on our page, if you click View Calendar, you can look ahead and see what is due. For the most part, everything is due on Saturday by 11:59 p.m., just as is the case with this first assignments for our module. First one is the icebreaker, which we talked about. Next one is this discussion board for the Irvin text, and this one's the syllabus quiz contract. So make sure to use these features as it helps to visualize and just look ahead as to what's going to be due. Okay, so let's get into our syllabus. You see it up here. Here's the link. So first page is we just have logistical information, my name, my email, the school's description of the course. But I like to call this, the course intro, the meat and potatoes, because it's what I wrote. So it says, Welcome to English 101. I'm so happy to have you join our very own learning community of readers and writers. At its core, the thematic premise that undergirds our course is an attention to the human experience. So that's our overarching theme here. As this is a composition class, the curriculum is scaffolded to link the action of writing as a social enterprise that constitutes an integral part of what we do as people. Moreover, we'll explore varied aspects that contribute to the human experience. This will include things such as culture, language, politics, and relevantly our relationship with science and technology. We'll consider how the work of writing, and more broadly speaking, composition, impel these things forward. Our adventure awaits us. So I'm glad you can join our journey. So our text really, our readings come from this, but honestly, you don't have to buy it. Save yourself some money. The reason is because the PDFs are easy to find online, so save yourself some money. You don't have to buy it. Everything else will be available through Canvas. There is an extra credit opportunity here, though, and for that one, you do need to buy a book. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is what that looks like, The Power of Habit. So there's an extra credit opportunity if you want to read it. So yeah, if you want to do it, then pick this up, The Power of Habit. Okay, get yourself some highlighters. Obviously, access to the internet as it's an online class. Make sure that everything is in working order with your Canvas account. Here's a big one, guys, netiquette. So remember the human. These are actual Citrus students. These are actual people. It's not a bot who you're chatting with. These are real people. So you must always be respectful. It's completely okay to disagree with an idea, but don't attack the person. So in my class, I will enforce respect, and I ask that you respect one another. So bear that in mind. Remember the human. And that goes, from student to student just as much as when you address me. Okay, readings. Obviously do the reading. Some of the modules will actually even have some reading quizzes to keep you on your toes. As I explained, every week is going to have a particular module to complete. So make sure to do that. Complete each respective module. So because it's week 1, you complete module 1. Next week, it'll be module 2. You can't make up any modules once the deadline passes. It's your job to complete them on time. For the discussion boards, usually I'm asking that you write at least a solid, fat paragraph. as well as, most of them will ask that you also reply to a classmate, because it's a discussion board. It's disingenuous if you don't reply to one another, and it's just you speaking into a vacuum. That's not a dialogue at all. That's not a conversation. Okay, yeah, and when you respond to one another, don't just say, yeah, that's cool, or, right, that's awesome, bro. No, expand, move forward the conversation. I feel well, many of us have experience with the internet and sending emails and such, and view it that way. It's bilateral. Okay. Here's another type of assignment: current events. This is quite easy. There's going to be 2 of these due throughout this term. There's just going to be where you select a news story. That could be about anything that you care about, everything from sports to tech to makeup to politics to marine biology. If you're into Nat Geo, you can pick up something from Nat Geo, whatever is the case. But as these come up, I'm going to have this description up so that you can read and remind yourself of how to do it. Those are going to be at least 2 full pages, double-spaced. And here's the guiding questions for when those come up. All right. In terms of essays, there will be 2 because this is a late start class. We don't have too much time. And here's the extra credit, particularities if you do wish to do it. It's just, because this is about habits, right? So essentially, you're detailing what you learned as it relates to habits and habit formation. And then comes the application portion. If there's a habit that you wish to adopt or one that you want to get rid of, how will you use what you learned here to achieve the aim of either adopting a new habit or getting rid of one, like procrastinating or not sleeping enough? Then you're going to write an essay that's at least 3 pages long. Okay. When you submit, I'm just letting you know, it automatically filters through Turnitin. No, you don't need to make a Turnitin account, nothing like that. It's just a filter. I'm just letting you know when you submit through Canvas, it'll do it on its own. So plagiarism is not worth it because it'll detect you in a heartbeat. And then obviously I can't credit you for the points, and then that could even lead to failure of the course, so it's not worth it at all. I told you about the chat room. This is an online class, so to participate you need to be engaged and to be doing the modules. Like I said, you cannot make up a module if you miss it. So if the week has passed, then you can't make it up. So you need to be on your toes. Get a laptop if you need to, if you know that you'll be traveling a lot or whatever is the case. That's one of the cool things about online classes is that you can do them from the comfort of wherever you find yourself remotely. So assignment submissions, those will only be .doc, docx, or PDF. Please no GDocs, no Google Docs. If you're using Google Docs, make sure to save it as one of these formats. Just because I cannot open GDocs, I don't know if you noticed, but GDocs always asks that you give permission to the recipient, and it gets kind of finicky. So just make sure, if you're going to use GDocs, you convert it to one of these first, okay? Everything else, I mean, if you're using Pages, make sure to convert into one of these. That's the main thing. Whatever you use, just make sure to convert it, okay? In terms of late work, so you can turn in only the first essay, up to 2 days late, but if you need to, you just let me know if you need to. And then, yeah, so you can turn in up to 1 late homework assignment, just 1 day late, and that does not include participations in writing workshops. That's just going to be like a worksheet or something like that. So just one of those, okay? And okay, revision. So you can revise. Actually, honestly, you can only revise your first essay. If there's 2 essays, you can revise the first one if you want. And if you're going to revise it, you have to turn it in 4 days after you receive it scored. Obviously, you can't revise the last paper because that's due on our very last day, which is the 14th. So there's no more revisions after that because the class is over. Writing Center, avail yourself of the Writing Center. They're very helpful, and it's a useful resource. If you need someone to talk to, go visit the student counseling, which is a student services building, room 147. If you need accommodations with DSPS, make sure to speak to them. And then, like I said, every essay is going to have a workshop, and I'll give you more info as that comes up. This is just a breakdown of the points. And okay, and then here's the little calendar. Tells you what you need to do because this is our first week. So by this Saturday, you need to complete everything on the module. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really quite simple. Just follow what the module says, and then obviously view the videos that I'm going to make at the start of each week, and you'll be successful. I believe in you, and work hard, and it's a pleasure to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you guys for the rest of this term.